Hi investors, and today we are diving into an absolute gem, a December 2024 letter from Kopernik Global investors that's honestly one of the most insightful pieces I've read this year. Why? Because it explains something we all experience, but rarely understand. Why markets become completely disconnected from reality, and how we can profit from it, the most important part. Let me hook you with this brilliant quote from the original letter. In everyday life, people love prices that are out of sync with fundamentals. Incredible fascinating story about a gas station owner in Tennessee who accidentally set gas prices at 0.45 instead of 4.50 cents. You know what happened? It took 5 hours for anyone to point out the error. People just kept filling up, celebrating their luck. But here's the million-dollar question. Why don't we get this excited about bargains in the stock market? In fact, as Kopernik points out, most investors do the exact opposite. They chase expensive stocks and avoid bargains like the plague. Now let's talk about why this happens. The letter introduces us to something fascinating called the confidence map. Very interesting concept, developed by Peter Atwater. This is where things get really interesting. Picture this map with 4 zones. First, there is the comfort zone. Here's how the letter describes it. The more confident we feel, the more rose-tinted our glasses, and the less apt we are to go looking for or put stock in counter-arguments. At our very peak in confidence, we believe those feelings will be permanent. Sound familiar? Think about all those AI and tech stock investors right now. Then we have the stress center. That's where panic takes over. As they put it, this is pure hear me now thinking. Remember March 2020? That was peak stress center. Everyone selling, everything in panic. I didn't. But here is where it gets really good. The letter talks about 2 other zones that most investors never think about. There is the launch pad, high control but uncertain future, and the passenger seat, high certainty but no control. Let me share another brilliant quote. Whether investors accept it or not, the launch pad is where they must live. The future is unknown and unknowable. That's some profound wisdom right there. Now, let's look at some shocking numbers that show just how far we've gone into the comfort zone, by the way. United States ETF, its assets just hit $10 trillion, doubling in just 5 years. But here's the kicker. Less than 8% of these assets are actively managed. As Kopernik puts it, investors have willingly ceded control of what companies they own, in what proportion they own them, and at what price. The letter then introduces 3 brilliant metaphors using mythology. First, there is the sword of Damocles. That's your fragile investment hanging by a thread. Think about it. If there is any disorder and the horsehair breaks, the outlook is there bleak. Sounds a lot like some high-flying tech stocks, doesn't it? Then there's the Phoenix investments that can recover from setbacks. But what you really want to be is the Hydra. Remember the mythical creature? Cut off one head to grow back. As Nassim Taleb says in the letter, wind extinguishes a candle and energizes fire. That's why we should be looking for investments that actually get stronger from market chaos. Here's where Kopernik drops another truth bomb. Good companies and good ideas do not necessarily equal good investments. Just because a company is amazing doesn't mean its stock is worth buying at any price. Let's talk about what this means for your portfolio. The letter warns that we are seeing the highest and riskiest levels ever for United States securities based on the price too. GDP, book value, replacement value, revenues, and a host of other metrics. It's not just concerning. It's downright scary. they make this brilliant point about passive investing. The case for passive investing assumes just a few passengers taking a free ride on the back of a market made efficient by millions of investors working hard. Once there are too many passengers relative to few drivers, the theory goes out the window. So what is the solution? As Warren Buffett said, and Kopernik reminds us, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Right now, everyone's in comfort zone, feeling invincible. Maybe that's exactly why we shouldn't be. Here's my favorite quote from the entire letter. The time to invest passively is when few are doing so. Think about that for a moment. When everyone's analyzing stocks and trying to find value, that's when the markets are efficient. But when everyone's spilling into the index fund, that's when things get dangerous. Before we wrap up, let me share one final piece of wisdom from the letter. Those in Launchpad, uncertain as to the future, can surmise that this is likely near the market peak. It's not about predicting the future. It's about recognizing where we are in the cycle and acting accordingly. If this analysis helped you think differently about the markets, smash that like button, please, and subscribe for more insights like this. And drop a commentary below which mythological creature does your portfolio most resemble right now? The Sword of Damocles, the Phoenix, or the Hydra? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and remember, in markets, as in life, sometimes the best opportunities come from being comfortable with uncertainty. See you in the next video. Thank you.